Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Sector 5. I'm your host, as always, Kerry the Hangman Heinzman, and Hell in a Cell has just ended. I am here to give the rundown of Hell in a Cell. But before I get to that, for those who may be wondering about the other series I do, Talking Football, stay tuned to the end of this video, and there will be a small update for that as well. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of this pay-per-view review for Hell in a Cell. First up, we'll talk about matches that weren't in my predictions, and then we'll go down the list of my predictions for the review and the way I talked about them. So let's talk about Cruiserweight Championship. Cruiserweights. They had a kickoff. They were part of the kickoff show. I honestly will not remember all the superstars. I have not learned the Cruiserweights all too well, and their names are escaping me. But it was a 6-man tag team for the Cruiserweight. Basically, you had your typical, I would say face on one side and your typical heel on the other, but kind of not established. But the team of Sin Cara won. That's the one superstar I can remember offhand, of course, because he's been there before. I apologize again for not having the information at hand. But let's talk about the other match that happened that I didn't have written down. That was Bayley versus Dana Brooks. I figured the match was going to happen, but since they never made it official before I made my predictions, I didn't talk about it. But I don't know who I would have predicted with that. Bayley won, so I don't want to say that I was going to think that Bayley was going to win it. If I'm being totally honest, I probably would have said Dana Brooks. They seem to be trying to push her a little bit. For some reason, they just casually dropped that Dana is with Charlotte. Now, they're both on their own, so that's interesting. But those are the two matches that happened that I did not have wrote down. So let's go to matches that way I did have. The one non-title match that I had wrote down: Enzo Amore versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and... Darn it. I thought I had his name. Andy. Carl Anderson. There we go. Got it. Figured it out. I really can never remember his name. Versus the Club. I should have just said that to start with. Winner of that match was the Club. Kind of surprised me a little bit. In my predictions, I said that the Club has been like a losing team lately. So, yeah, I was a little surprised that they picked up the win. But Club picked up the win. So let's talk about title matches. We had TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick for the Cruiserweight Championship. Winner of this match and the new Cruiserweight Champion, Brian Kendrick. Before going into it, Brian Kendrick kind of was trying to act as if he was trying to pander to TJ Perkins. Like, he was trying to be like, dude, this is the only thing I have. I need you to lay down. And towards the end of the match, Brian Kendrick, he acted, but also looked like he may have injured his knee/ankle whenever he was going for a reversal. And he cheap-shotted TJ Perkins, blindsided him basically, gave him a headbutt, put him into the Captain's Hook. TJ Perkins tapped out, new Cruiserweight Champion. And like like I did with the predictions, I'm going to skip over the women's championship because that's what I have next. I'm going to skip over that just a second, and we'll talk about that after we talk about the tag team championship match. We had Kofi Kingston, the New Day, defending their title against Sheamus and Cesaro. Big E and Xavier Woods represented the New Day. Winner of this match by disqualification, Sheamus and Cesaro, which means still your WWE World Tag Team Champions, the New Day. Sheamus was on the outside, dealing with Big E and Kofi Kingston. I hit Big E with the trombone. It's a trombone. I will get my brass instruments correctly. Hit Big E with it. Ref didn't see it. Tried to hit Kofi with it. Kofi hit Sheamus with the Trouble in Paradise, causing the disqualification. So still your tag team champions, New Day. Winner of the match, Sheamus and Cesaro. I'm not going to go into it. Let's talk about the 3 Hell in a Cell matches now, shall we? Because that's all we got left. And we'll start with the women's Hell in a Cell, because that's the one I started with in my predictions. It was actually the main event of the night. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, Hell in a Cell match for the Women's Championship. They really tried to play it off as a forfeit. As the cell was descending down, Charlotte attacked Sasha Banks from behind, knocked her outside. They had a brawl on the outside. Charlotte eventually put Dana Brooke put Sasha Banks through the announce table, and they were trying to play it off as she was injured because she's been having back injuries. And they were trying to cut her out, and as they were making the announcement, she gets off the stretcher, gets in the ring, match begins. And the winner of the match, and your new Raw Women's Champion, once again, Charlotte. I don't know. Basically, at this point, I just feel like WWE is just trying to push Charlotte as Ric Flair's daughter. As they've been, I guess. But they're just trying to redo his history through Charlotte. So you're going to have Charlotte as 16-time women's champion. And Sasha Banks is just fodder. Here, hold the title for about 2 weeks, and then you're losing it. Here's what it is. Let's talk about the United States Championship match now. We had Roman Reigns versus Rusev. This was the header. This is what started the pay-per-view. So everything else had to follow behind it. Winner of this match and still your United States Champion, Roman Reigns. It was a match. It was a really good match. I'm very surprised of the outcome. Not that Roman Reigns retained, but how. Rusev, towards the end, had the chain that they used to lock the door with in Roman Reigns' mouth with the accolade on top of the steel steps. And Roman Reigns somehow found a way to get up, hit a Samoan drop on Rusev on the steel steps, and then jump off the steel steps with a spear to retain the United States Championship. It was a match. So let's talk about the last match. It was not the main event. It was kind of in the middle. I'll talk about the order that they went in after this. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. Winner of this match, and still your Universal Champion, Kevin Owens. Now, this match, prior to it, Monday night, Kevin Owens did the pop-up power bomb on Seth Rollins on the outside on the apron, which he did to Sami Zayn and cost him months of action, which he did to John Cena, which cost him weeks out of action. Seth Rollins, it happened to him Monday night. When I talked about the predictions, I said this match isn't going to happen. They're probably going to have someone else come out there, maybe. But Seth Rollins competed. And lost. Because of Jericho, basically. It turned into a handicap situation. As the referee was taken out, a different referee, because Kevin Owens sprayed the referee with a fire extinguisher. The door was open. Here comes Jericho. Jericho locks the door, takes the key, put it in his pocket, and it becomes a handicap situation for Seth Rollins that he could not overcome. So there's that. The order the matches went, if I can rightly recall in my mind, we had Roman Reigns versus Rusev first. Then we had Bayley versus Dana Brooks. Followed by Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus The Club. Then TJ Perkins versus... Followed by Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Followed by TJ Perkins, Brian Kendrick. Followed by a New Day versus Sheamus Cesaro. And the main event, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. And let's see, how did I say it? Was that and that one and that. The Kevin Owens Seth Rollins match and Enzo Amore, and that might need to be switched. I don't rightly remember the full order. Comments below. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that was Hell in a Cell. I did enjoy it. It was really good. And, as always, that closes this book. And we're going back to this, baby. Old reliable. Because we got next up Survivor Series, which we know at least 4 matches. We don't know the competitors in 3 of them, but we do know that we're going to have a traditional Survivor Series match for women's, for tag team, for men. And then you got what's most likely going to be the main event of the night. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. And I sat and thought about it. And anytime there's a match with Brock Lesnar at a pay-per-view that's like the must-see, it always gets ruined. I just thought about that. Did you ever think about that?
Who, me? I know that.
What was the last one? Brock Lesnar had the... What was he?
Randy Orton.
Right, Randy Orton. And it ended with a KO, TKO, a boxing thing. When he had to face the Big Show at one time, he attacked him with a chair. So what's going to happen with this one? Are we even going to have a match? Is it going to end dumbly? That's for the Survivor Series predictions. But that is the Hell in a Cell. That is a precursor to what's to come. Now, as I hinted at the beginning of the video, I need to talk about the other series, Talking Football. You may be wondering where the video is currently. Things had to go a little differently this week. We are going to have a score episode again, but one half of the people I could not get a hold of. things that happened this week with him, personal things. I'm not going to get too into it. So I could not get a hold of him. So I had to pull in a substitute. That substitute would happen to be my pastor, actually. He gave me his scores for the matches. I have them. I thought I might have them right here, but apparently they are still in the kitchen. But I'm going to, after the game Monday, I will put up the scores that they gave, and I will have beside it point given, which means they got the point for that game. They got it. They were the closest, or they had the least amount of points wrong, like off. They were off by the lesser amount of points, and that'll be up late Monday, early Tuesday, one of the two. So that is where Talking Football is. This is what, week 8? So it'll be episode 7. Or maybe episode 6. Let's see. 2 was 1, 3 was 2, 4 was 3, 5 was 4, 6 was 5, and there wasn't one last week. So it should be episode 6 of Talking Football. Because we did not make a video last week. Hopefully we'll meet up this coming Saturday. Actually, it won't be this Saturday. Hopefully we get to meet up like Friday or something. I can get somebody on Discord, get together on Discord or something, and we can explain why there wasn't a video and everything. I'm hoping we can get together for the next video, and it's not just going to be another score, but we'll see from there. Now going on a little bit of a tangent, so I'm just going to end it here. And as always, I'm Cody the Hangman Heinzman. That's just how it is.